Hello, happy Friday. Hi, Sonia here, wanting to talk to you a little bit about how to get in touch with your divine support system, your guides, and your angels. Now, this is something I talk to my clients about a lot. The thing is that we have a whole constellation of guides and angels who are here to support us. And oftentimes, our biggest problem is that we forget to ask for help. You know, the interesting thing about when we connect to our guides is that our guides it's like any sort of relationship. And the more that we water and pay attention to that relationship, and the more that we give it our energy, the more that it grows. So, for example, what happened to me yesterday? My boyfriend was getting his suit tailored to go to a wedding. And we dropped it off on Tuesday, and we were gonna pick it up on a Wednesday. But we went and had dinner, and the night got a little later, and we came back, and we figured, pick it up Thursday morning. Of course, our retailer's open on Thursday. But, of course, we show up yesterday. He left yesterday evening, and the tailor was closed. So, panic. It's like, okay, he's a groomsman in the wedding, and without his suit, it was like my first instinct was like, okay, I'll wake up super early Friday morning, I'll FedEx it, hopefully it'll get there Saturday in time for the thing. He's like, should I call my friend and tell him that I don't have the suit? And my first response, because at the moment I've been really working on my relationship with my guides and my angels, as I started to pray. I was like, okay, angels, I need help. Help me. Because we're at this place and it's completely closed, and it's Thursday. And so first I call, obviously no answer. And so the second one's like, all right, well, maybe we'll call, I'll wake up early tomorrow morning and I'll FedEx it to you. So we start to drive around the block, and we got the intuitive hit. It was like, go knock on the door. And if we look at where the place was, like, it was closed, like totally closed. But anyway, I get up there and I'm like, all right, might as well. And so I just am praying. I'm like, angels, guides, help me, help me, help me. I need to get this suit. And so I start knocking on the door, and I'm peering in, and no one's there. And I'm like, okay, knocking on the door. This doesn't make total sense, but okay. And all of a sudden, this woman showed up around the corner, opened the door, and was like, here's your suit. Here's $40, no big deal. And it was a really wonderful reminder of how we need to ask for help. You know, a lot of times our intellect can get so narrow in thinking that there's no solution, or that it's all or nothing, but when we start to ask for help and start to be more available to our guidance, we allow ourselves not only to be guided, but to really act on it. And in asking for help and expecting it to work, things start to show up and things start to shift. So instead of connecting with your own guides and angels, start to notice all the places in which you have gotten the exact right message or support or whatever, and how that is a message from your guides. And a big thing that I always say, and that I've been taught how to do, is to thank my angels. Yesterday, I was like, thank you, angels. I'm so grateful, because I was. And it really, not only helped to reaffirm our connection, but also was a really beautiful place to practice gratitude. Second of all, a lot of times with our guides, we think that because of what our paradigm or our belief of what spirit is, a lot of times we think our guides and angels are going to be like Elvis Presley, walking through, and it's going to be this big hurrah and this big thing. But a lot of times it's a lot of really no big deal, little teeny itty bitty type of things. It can be just feeling the turning right to going somewhere, and then all of a sudden it's like the perfect thing shows up. Or that you get the vibe to not take the highway to work, and you get on, you realize that the highway was super backed up. All those places of where your guides are showing up. Second of all, of really asking for support. And I say this aloud all the time. And a lot of times people can be confused. They're like, well, I have guides, I have angels, and I don't necessarily know who to pray to, and blah, blah, blah. But the thing is that you just have to make the call. It's going to be answered. It's our intellect that wants it to be a specific way to make it right. But it's not about right and wrong, it's about the vibration. And if we can expect things to work and start to create that space of openness and receptivity, that's where our intuition is the act of receiving. It's the act of opening things up so that we can be better listeners. Things come in. And, there are so many different times. I remember even just the other week, I was at Whole Foods and I was debating whether or not I should go to this wedding, because I have a lot of different things going on here, and whatever, and it was like the perfect song came on the Whole Foods radio channel that was like, no, don't go. It was literally like, don't go. Actually, it was in my car, and it was actually a Justin Martin song that was called Don't Go. And I was like, there you go. There is my message. And the interesting thing is when I said, okay, I'm not going to go, everything in me relaxed. And I was like, that was a message from my angels. So really quick and really grounded ways to connect. First of all, expect it to work. You know, so often we have something called the negativity bias where we look for things to not work. Or when we expect, and a lot of times we lower our expectations because we don't want to get disappointed. Understandable. We all do it. I do it. But that's not a good way of being in the world. If we can expect good things and expect things to work, what happens is we start to open up that lens from which we see how things show up. And when we can open up that lens, it's like we are way more available to the world, to our guidance, to our guides. And, you know, third of all, our relationship with our guides is just like our other relationships. And if you it's almost like you have a good friend. And if you call them and you nurture that relationship and you support it, that friendship grows to be a lot stronger and you can really trust it. And it's that same thing with our guides. Fourth, ask for help. Ask for help all the time. One of my simplest favorite prayers when I'm asking my guides and my angels is, angels, help me. Help me, help me. I might even not even know what it is that I need help with, but help me. Move my body, move my spirit, move my mind to be available and to be open. Third, fourth, and fifth, when you get the messages, don't overthink them. You know what resonates is true and what doesn't. And a lot of times they show up in like little crazy, no big deal ways, like a song on the radio or somebody who says the perfect thing, or, you know, even just little signs. You know, it's like you can give you a bumper sticker that says, you got it. And they're simple, but they're things that work. And they're things that take merit, and they're things that we really have to start to notice and take ownership of. Because when we start to take ownership of it, we can start to see that there are so many different ways in which we are supported. And fifth, or sixth, I'm not very good at numbers. But 6 too is another really beautiful way, and a way that I love is to give gifts to my angels and my guides. One of my favorite ways of doing that is just having fresh flowers. It's just a way to say thank you, because when we're in an act of gratitude and we can have a grateful heart, that's an open heart, and it's a heart that receives. So I would challenge you this week to think about, what are the things that you're struggling with? You know, for me, one of the things that I'm asking my guides and angels with this week is to make friends. And interestingly enough, I was like, I want friends, and so that's why I joined an improv class, and I joined this climbing gym here in New Orleans. And interestingly enough, I was at my improv class yesterday, and I thought, you know what I would really love? I would really love a friend to go climbing with, because sometimes I feel kind of awkward when I'm there by myself. And so I said, and I was like, okay. And so anyway, I'm at my improv class, and lo and behold, there was a new student. We're like week 3 of our improv class, which is like pretty deep into our 6-week class. And there was a woman who showed up who had a climb like a girl shirt on. And after the class, I went up and I talked to her, and she was like, yeah, come climbing with me. Like, here's my number. I'm a writer, all these different things. And I was like, thank you, angels. And that was where I asked for help and expected it to work. So we're gonna go climbing in a few days, which I am pumped about. She was so nice, maybe one of my new friends, yay! So asking for help, expecting it to work. And I would also, in expecting things to work, check out our newsletter, soniaandsabrina.com. You get a free ebook, you get a free mini course with lots of grounded tips and tools where I can help you tune in. Second of all, if you're struggling in a fog of confusion, book a reading or a mentoring with me. Let me help you get your life on track. And I offer a free 15-minute call so we can see if it's a good fit. And no matter what, I get to talk to you, which is so exciting. Yay! I love connecting with people. Anyway, I hope you're having a beautiful day, and ask your guides, ask your angels for help, ask them for huge things, all the things you struggle with. Expect it to work. And tell me how it does. How do your angels and guides show up? What are the ways? What are the little signs? I can't wait to hear from you. I'm sending you all my love. Bye!